Welcome back to Studio F on Fast Times Willy B. We'll be reviewing Terrifier 2 as we get ready for Terrifier 3. Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
Russell!
Welcome back to Fast Times Willy B. I'm Willy B. I got Rosie on. Rosie, how we doing?
Good, pretty excited to be back for another Terrifier movie.
So we'll be reviewing Terrifier 2, a couple years old now. Directed by Damien Leone as he continues his Art the Clown story. We've got David Howard Thornton back as Art the Clown. We got Lauren Levera playing Sienna Shaw. We got Amelie McLean playing the little pale girl. Casey Hartnett, not related to Josh Hartnett, playing Allie. Nonetheless, we've got quite the cast. We'll start with the good. And once again, David Howard Thornton is the man, the myth, the legend. Amelie McLean. We'll talk about this one a little more. Her audition confused me a little bit at the beginning, but I do like her audition by the end.
I do.
Also, she's sweet. We got to meet her as well.
She is sweet in person.
And she's very sweet,
She's
very
so
nice. And she also signed the head. So thank you for that. Lauren Levera, great addition to this.
I love
this franchise, to this universe, as Sienna Shaw, our protagonist of the first movie, or second movie, I should say. I would say the thing that really stands out in the second movie for me in the good is that we really get a story this time.
Yes.
We get character arc. We get, a whole slew of characters. We get this protagonist now that we see her lose friends, we see her lose family, and you're just following along with her. You got this almost science fiction fantasy element to this movie.
Yeah.
You find out the Art the Clown's an evil entity and is able to resurrect, so it kind of, closes the book on wondering how the hell did he come back after the first movie.
Right.
So, you get answered questions, you get a story, you get great performances, the practical effects are still top-notch. The alley scene alone, it makes a lot of sense on why at early screenings people were walking out sick.
Yeah.
The alley scene, the practical effects are insane. I mean, he scalps her, he basically skins her, and she still has the power to say "Mom" when she walks in.
Yeah, I hate that.
What a scene! What a bloodbath!
Oh my gosh,
again, once again, another a film not for the weak stomached.
No way.
Then he kills her mom and turns her head into a candy holder for trick or treat.
Yeah.
Just you get Art the Clown back, and he's in full effect.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I love about the second movie.
I love. My favorite part about the second movie is, the kills are like top notch.
Balls to the wall.
Like, things you've seen before, things you've seen him do before, things you've seen other killers do before, new things.
Yeah.
Like, twist on a good classic with the scalpings that's been in other movies prior. Yeah. It's just sick.
Yeah.
Really. And I hate to say that, like, I said it when we reviewed the first one, this is one of my favorite horror franchises, and that's so awful to say because, like, it is really just a huge bloodbath, and if you know me personally, I'm not a huge fan of blood, so this is like, oh god, she really likes that kind of stuff, and I'm like, I mean, yeah, it has to, if it's done the right way, like, it's not like, I don't know. I just enjoy it, which is also psychotic to say, but here we are.
Here's the thing, like, Damien Leone, he finds success with that first Terrifier film, and then instead of playing it safe and making a safe sequel, he takes a big swing and hits.
Yeah, I would agree.
I mean, this one obviously starts the same night, and it's Art the Clown and his first resurrection, and he's, he replaces his eye and brain with the doctor's eye and brain, writes Art was here in the mirror, and then it's a year later, it's Halloween, and he's back to torment the same town, and, you get the scene where he's cleaning his clothes, which is a little much.
I like that scene.
And then you get the Halloween store scene I know you love that scene.
That is my favorite scene.
That one's honestly later in the movie, but that's just a scene I have to shout out because you get him trying on the glasses, him showing that big personality that we love so much, all while Sienna's like, what the hell is going on? Little does she know that this is just the start.
Yeah. I also love that scene because it isn't just, like, well done, but, like, the lighting and the scene, like, the set design and just, like, it's a nice Halloween store. It gives, like that very ominous, Halloween store that we don't see a lot anymore because, we're stuck with Spirit Halloweens that aren't scary at all. Yeah. This just has that little bit of, like, extra charm. Halloween lore to it, which I really enjoy.
So the first movie obviously takes place on Halloween. Outside of the costumes, you don't feel it as much. This one, you really feel it. Yeah. You feel the fall season. You have the Halloween store. You have her making her costume for a lot of the movie. Her brother's obsessed with Art the Clown. That just adds a layer to it. Her mom, disgusted by that. They just lost their dad. Like, there's a lot going on within this family. Definitely. There's a lot of tension. The mom...
Which I think is great for a good Halloween movie because I feel like they have lots of, like... pent up anger, and I think it is just good story for a Halloween movie.
Yeah, I mean, the mom is like ready to snap at any moment. It feels like you've got Sienna, our main character. I love how like she's having these visions that Art the Clown's in. You get the cereal dream that ends up catching her room on fire. And then...
She's just in her head playing games.
Yeah, and this is where you get to get more of that fantasy, supernatural elements to this slasher. And I like the addition of the supernatural and fantasy to this. Yeah. Obviously, like I said, the first movie goes back to the slasher basics, and it's a fun ride. It's just, kill or be killed type of thing. But the second one just adds more plot, adds more...
Definitely.
Everything. And... You get everything. It's a package deal in this one, and Sienna's such a great protagonist too.
Oh my gosh!
I'm excited to see her in the third one.
Me too.
But you've got all this lore with their dad too. He got his art journal. He has all of the clippings from the first massacre. He has drawings of art. He has drawings of this winged goddess holding the head of Art. And it's kind of showing more that, like, okay, this is building up to we're gonna get a final battle between Sienna and Art the Clown.
And he died from brain cancer.
Yeah.
So who's to say like that is that what he was seeing when he was dealing with this brain cancer? Like, was that like what was Art making him? Because Art is in Sienna's memory and in her brain, so like. Who's to say that he wasn't the reason that the dad got brain cancer and this is the images he's seeing is what he's drawing, which is kind of spooky and it adds an extra layer of question and an extra layer to the plot, which is really cool.
Well, there's a connection too because of the target that the family has on their back. I mean, they go out and they kidnap her brother. Yeah. And then you get the mom's death with point-blank sawed-off shotgun, mashed potatoes to the open wound.
That's wild. A wild kill. I think gasped because we seen it in theaters, and I think like the whole theater might have went because that wasn't like because you definitely thought like the brother did it, but he's kind of timid, so like maybe Art did do it, but for him to be sitting in the passenger seat was definitely a shock factor when she was cleaning the window.
And while all this is going down, too, I mean, you got Sienna who's at this Halloween party living it up. You feel so happy for her because she's finally, she's caught a break. She's having a good time. She's with her friends. She's drinking. And then all hell breaks loose. She gets, you got the little pale girl imitating Jonathan to get her to the carnival. And the carnival scene... I don't remember being as long the first time I watched it, but it's all good. Yeah. And I love how the carnival ride is called the Terrifier.
Very fitting.
You get some cool kills with Brooke and her boyfriend. You get the showdown. You get the famous whip with a bunch of sharp things attached to it. I hate
that scene.
Yeah.
Because you can feel it just because it is so... I'm not going to say drawn out because it isn't. Mm-hmm. It's so long compared to all his other kills are, like, quick. Yeah. Because he's just, like, stabbing or shooting or something, and it's, like, done real quick. But this, he's like chasing them around with the chain with the blades on it, and every time it just hits one of their backs, you can for Sienna, she's just wearing like a little like bra number.
Yeah.
So a lot of her back is exposed, and you can feel just like my skin crawls every time I seen it. Like even like watching other people do reviews when it first came out, like they would show, and I was just like, ugh, because you can just feel it in your, I don't know.
And then, it's all this chase and
shivers.
Torture, and then you get the water torture chamber, and that's where we see her father's sword almost, resurrect her, and it's where we get the beheading and the vision, the drawing showed. And, what an ending. I really like the fantasy and supernatural elements. I know a few people we watched it with, they were like, I don't know, I still like the movie, but it kind of lost me there. I was a fan, so I definitely throw that into the good. Mm-hmm. The mid-credit scene, I don't know how I feel about it. Maybe we'll talk about it in a little bit. Mm-hmm. But you got Chris Jericho, that's cool. So, but yeah, it's just, like I said, Leone taking a big swing, and it's a hit for me.
I would agree.
So, anything else you want to add to the good? A lot of this movie falls in the good for me.
Yeah,
I think this is a very good modern horror film.
I don't think I have anything really good. I definitely have at least one thing for the meh.
So we'll hop to the meh. Again, nothing in the bad for me. They're 2 for 2 in missing that subject for me.
I don't think I have anything in the bad either.
The first scene we get with the little pale girl, I think is weird. I don't like...
In the laundromat?
I don't like the poop. I could have done without that.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's maybe like a little callback to him in the stall at the pizzeria of the first one where he spreads his stuff all over the bathroom. It was just something I was like... It didn't make me sick. Like, I'm not weak-stomached like that. But it was just like... I don't think we need it.
Yeah.
And that's just how I felt about it. And then I'd probably say the mid-credit scene. I'm really torn on this because it plays into the evil entity. He's being resurrected by Vicky as she gives birth to his head. That the little pale girl takes, so it all connects and it makes sense. And it's giving us a third movie, so I'm here for it. But again, it's like the first movie. There's questions. Yeah. It's nothing that I'm like torn over, like, bad movie because they didn't answer this question. But it adds, it's in the meh for me because I wish the question was answered, but at the same time, it just makes you look forward to the third one.
That's true.
More. So that's really it for me. I enjoy this one more than the first one.
Oh, yeah.
I do. Just because, again, it's the added element of the story itself. Yeah. But.
I only have one thing in the meh, and that's the mom.
Okay.
I hate her character so much.
I think...
I don't know.
I don't mind her character because that's, what she's written to do. She's written to be that mom that's dealing with grief in a poor way. And I don't know. Everybody grieves in different ways.
I guess.
But I do think if you're going to say somebody had the worst performance, I would say it was her. I don't know if she was always convincing as the angry mother.
No, and I think
but I still think she did a good enough job to,
Because she always went back and forth because, like, when Sienna came down the steps, for example, with her Halloween costume on, she was like, oh god, that's so revealing, like, not age appropriate or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then she thought about it, how it was her husband's design and how, like, he would have loved it, and then she was like, oh, it's fine. She's really a pushover. Yeah. And then again, she does the same thing. Like, she's so mad at Sienna on the phone in the garage, and then
but Sienna kind of calms her down there.
Yes, and then, but the scene which I don't like is when the little brother is, like, grounded from going out and trick-or-treating and being with his friends on Halloween. And she's, like, ripping the pages out of the book. Yeah. And they're just, like, having a screaming match, and she slaps him. I just, like, not convincing. I just don't like that. I look at it as, like, that's just, again, poor grief. I think so, too. And I just, and it's obviously personal. Mm-hmm. Like, in my personal opinion, and why I don't like it, so... I don't know. Like, I feel like we could have used that time somewhere else. Because
That's fair.
she's just, like... Which I know she's grieving, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, she's so... She's so mean. So mean. And she just takes everything, like, so extreme.
Not everybody gets a Beth Carley.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Not everybody gets...
But,
a fantastic mother. Shout out, Mom. Now you have to watch this episode and I'm going to send you the link.
So I don't know. So I think I'm going to put her, like... the mom in the meh.
Okay.
So she doesn't like ruin the movie for me, and I don't think I'm gonna knock off any, because she doesn't really add like to the movie as a whole.
Yeah.
I just every time she comes on screen, I'm like, oh my god, what is she gonna be screaming about now?
Yeah.
Because no one's like, it isn't like a mean, like screamy like you know what I mean? Like nobody's fighting.
Yeah.
Except for her.
Yeah.
With everybody else, which I get why she's mad and upset and angry, but I'll pass.
Okay. So hop over to our final thoughts and rating. What do you want to leave off with Terrifier 2, and what do you give it out of 10?
I'm going to leave off by saying that, again, like I mentioned with the first one, this is a very unlikely favorite of mine. A little bit more plot to this, so I think that's why it's a little bit more intriguing. Even for like I would consider us kind of like a bigger fan of this movie, but even for the casual watcher of this movie, like oh maybe just throw it on, watching it with some friends or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's a fan favorite so far.
Yeah.
Between this one or the first and this one. So I'm kind of excited where they go with number 3. We kind of already know where they're going with number 3.
Christmas.
I'm just excited to see like if we get some more questions answered.
Oh yeah.
If what they're going to do with the cast, because we know Sienna and her brother, what's his name? Jonathan. I don't know why Nathan was on my brain. I'm interested to see what they do with their characters going forward, and I don't know. I'm excited.
What do you give the second one out of 10?
I'm gonna give it a half a point higher than the first.
Okay.
And go with a 9.5.
Okay. For me, I'm gonna go solid 9 out of 10.
All right.
So I think it's a whole point above the first one.
Yep.
Again, it's just that the added story, the character development, art's. If he could get any more insane, he is. He's got his personality in full effect. I mean, that Halloween shop scene alone is
That's why I'm excited
one of my
to see
favorites.
what he does with Christmas, because Christmas is a very like joyful holiday and a very like he's very animated. That's the word I was trying to think of this whole time we've been sitting down here.
Yeah.
Animated. He's very animated, and with like his eyes and his mouth and his teeth and everything. So I'm excited to see what he does with the very joyful holiday of Christmas.
For sure. And we are very close.
We are very close.
So that'll do it for Terrifier 2. Rosie, thank you for coming on.
Which hands?
Thank you all for watching. If you like what you're watching, check out some of these other videos. Hit the subscribe button or follow the social links down below. As always, we appreciate you, and we will talk to you all soon. Peace.
Peace and love.